Hello, good evening, and hope you're well. Today is a beautiful, beautiful challenge. It's a new way to think about how we're going to reach the stars and beyond. Mars, the moon, we don't know. What's behind Mars? What's the new challenge? Where are we heading as a humanity? We have to discover it. And today is one of those challenges to support NASA itself into bringing some technological perspective or even environmental perspectives or challenges or solutions to problems that will be faced during the voyage. So a few minutes sets us up from meeting the challengers. This is an international challenge with NASA, and hopefully we will be able to help as a community in the Arab region and in Lebanon for this challenge to see some light. So we're gonna wait a little bit, and I want you to join me with this venture. I'll be judging through this competition with esteemed panels and judges, and let's see what we have in the future. I just want to wish everybody good luck tonight for their efforts, because they've done amazing throughout this weekend and for the last months, of course. Let's wait a couple of minutes and we will start. See you soon.
morning, good afternoon, and good night. From all over the world, from USA, China, the Gulf, Lebanon. Here is NASA Space Apps Challenge Lebanon. For the first time ever, NASA Space Apps Challenge is in Lebanon with a great success story and innovations. So welcome everybody. We will be starting our presentation following slide. Welcoming you, of course, with our partners from PCA, CRDP, National Lebanese Science Fair, and USAC. First of all, I'm your local lead or the local lead of NASA Space Apps for Lebanon. At the same time, I'm a Conrad ambassador, ISIF director, and Grand Award judge for many international summits. In case you need anything from the participants, volunteers, and even judges, please get back to us. The largest space and science hackathon in the solar system. This is NASA's Space Apps. It is since 2012. NASA's International Space Apps Challenge has engaged 150,000 people from 150 plus countries in using NASA's open data to build innovative solutions to challenges we face on Earth and in space. In Lebanon, for the first time, we've proved to the world we are from the best countries in audience in the world as for the organization. So we are very proud to be part of this largest hackathon in the solar system. As for the numbers, and you know that numbers talk, we had 200 registrations in less than 3 weeks. 400 records, 30 teams filtered to 22, and that's huge for a small country like Lebanon. 25 expert volunteers, 5 international of the finest judges, 25 media sources covered, and 5 public and governmental alliances. As for the innovation, we showed the world that Lebanon, since the 1969, we were from the first countries in the world trying to reach space, but our circumstances and the war we had made us get back. Now, in 2021, with NASA again, we proved we have accomplished the roadmap, and we're looking forward to be in the roadmap of the world as for space and Earth sciences. Our participation started as an initiative with USAC University, then shifted to be a national accomplishment recognized by more than 26 media sources, the Lebanese president, and the Lebanese parliament. By making the Lebanese brains come together and work on space and Earth solutions and technologies. It was the gigantic success story, and that's why I use the slogan, "Are you ready, Lebanon?" We showed the world our capabilities. Since the Phoenicians, we did create so many inventions as colors, letters from Byblos, Lebanon, Beirut, to the whole world. So our Lebanese participants, and this image shows that, or tells a story from our creative designer, Bakr, that used our essential symbolic participation in the world, and we will reach space soon. And I promised the Lebanese people and the world, we will be in space so soon with the help of many countries, and one of them is the United States of America. I'm very proud to work with the finest intellectuals in Lebanon They've worked 24 by 24 for the last 27 or 28 days, sleepless, since we've got the approval from NASA very late. But I promised NASA also that we will shine, and Lebanon shines again. As for our semifinals, from the filtered teams, we had 12 teams from the finest innovations like Vega, Dark Matter, CRDP, Leviosa, City of the Sun, Cedar X, Trios Cam, and others. We're very proud to show the world our talented people, and from the youngest ever students, like they're 11, 14, until the 70s. So there's no range for the ages we've been working with, colors, religions, or even locations. One united Lebanon, and that was very clear. Let's start with our closing ceremony. So let's meet our first closing star at NASA Space Apps Lebanon. And our star is always available, a friend of mine, a Lebanese legend in technology, and a humble spirit. Let's meet Mr. Nicholas Sehnawi from the Lebanese Parliament. He's a previous Minister of Telecommunications, member of the Lebanese Parliament, and Chairman of the Information and Technology Parliamentary Committee, as of also Chairman as UK Lebanon Tech Hub. Mr. Nicholas, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you, Antoine.
So you're most welcome once again. We're very proud of your achievements and your support. You've been supporting me personally for years, and that's why you make the Lebanese people proud of you, since you are from the few people trying to give Lebanon the choice of going to space. Please go ahead and let's have your word.
Well, thank you, Antoine, for your passion for the space program. I think we share with the youth you gathered one common consciousness, which is that space may appear to a lot of people like something marginally important, but if you know better, you know that a lot of the inventions that we use every day come from the space program. You know that a lot of the threats that humanity faces come from space, and if we put the brains of the human population together, and I think Lebanese brains are among the best globally, and especially the youth brains, we can find solutions to these problems. And to just name one, is the threat of a comet or an asteroid hitting the Earth, and we know that there are multiple millions of space debris and asteroids turning around the solar system every year. We see them as shooting stars, so we go up the mountains in the sky night and we enjoy seeing them as shooting stars, but in fact any one of them would hit the Earth, and that would be a global extinction event for humanity. So this is one of the problems where we can put our brains together to find a solution to defend humanity in case such one of the problems where we can put our brains together to find a solution. So to defend space is
utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important. So we know that space is utmost important.
hopefully, first of all, I would congratulate everyone who participated in this amazing challenge during this extremely first time circumstances to our country. And extremely, if we want to say about first the time circumstances to our country. And extremely, if we want to say about first time Tony Thomas. He's a wonderful man, amazing man who keep working hardly and connecting with us as PCA, Professional Computer Association, because we believe and commit to the youth, we commit to the startups, to the entrepreneurs, and we commit, of course, to the digital transformation. But this time it was unique because the Pathfinder and the roadmap, it was very unique with you. It was really NASA Space App Challenge with our superheroes, these amazing people who are working with you, Tony, in order to make this happen. From all your team and for the candidates, I wish even if they not get the first levels or the first grades or the first prizes, they are winners. Why? Because Lebanon is a brain industry. Lebanon is the way to find the path to the success by two things, the people and the content. And this time the content were these apps which open this opportunity for the world in order to reach their success and their dreams. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, NASA. Thank you for this challenge. And we will keep forward as PCA with our commitment to support all along. And we are very happy to have Lebanon flags at NASA and
you've been working a lot on the educational sector, and you've been a path for me in the parliament. It's a first because you believed in us and you believed in me. I do thank everybody thanking me. It's my duty to make Lebanon proud, or even to be on the roadmap since we produce brains all over the world. Thank you, Mr. Rabia, for your words, and we will continue our ceremony for tonight also with the judges. So the judges, we made sure to be having an international panel from China, USA, and Lebanon. I've met the finest judges throughout my panel experience in the world, and I've met lovely people like Mr. Simon Glinsky and Mr. Ethan. They are humble in a way that they make me think twice before thanking them. Because every time I thank them, they thank me back. I don't know for what, but I believe I've won experience by being part with their communities as USA, with Nancy Conrad, with China, with Ethan, to meet or join efforts to make the world one peaceful place for brains and find solutions for humanity. So I welcome everybody, but I'm gonna introduce everyone and we'll get 2 minutes of speech from your sides. We'll start with Mr. Simon Glinsky. I know you have too many positions, Mr. Simon.
Thank you.
And I know you are sometimes my director back in judging. So he is the principal of the Glinsky Group, general partner, venture advisor, and investment committee, ATA, AI8 Venture Fund, Advanced Facilitator, Interpersonal Dynamics Program, and many others. But I tried to put this so far, Mr. Glinsky. And first of all, I salute you and welcome to NASA Space Apps Challenge Lebanon.
Good morning, good evening. Thank you, Antoine, from San Francisco. It's really a pleasure for me to be involved. I appreciate the invitation, and it's very exciting to hear from everybody how important this is for students in Lebanon. I'm resistant to commenting on the projects since I'm about to judge them, but I do want to say that I really love seeing the creativity And even the names of the teams, wow, those are really fun and really show an awareness both of science and just having a good time. So even though I haven't completed my judging yet, kudos to the students for doing such a good job with it. And again, I really appreciate the opportunity and will do my best to not only judge, but hopefully mentor and help the students learn from this experience.
We thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we know the value of being in our judge panel, since you advise and you direct many panel judges all over the world, and especially with Kristen. I hope she's watching us right now. So a very humble word. Thank you so much for joining us, and you'll be having like 24 hours for judging. I hope you're gonna like or enjoy the creativity of our teams back in Lebanon. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
So from Simon, we go to Ethan. He's a very dear friend of mine. Lately, I didn't even meet Ethan. We once said hello back in the States, and I just say hello. He was a very kind person. Then I've met him also through Simon and Nancy, and since that time, he gave me a great opportunity to collaborate more with China. So Ethan Fang, he's from Alpha Partner Education, CEO and co-founder of Alpha Partner Education, founder of Football Cafe podcast. He's a famous guy, innovation expert judge, as Conrad also, Chinese entrepreneur, and even he's always humble. When I asked him to be a judge, he said, "Oh, I cannot make it, and how shall I be competent, or how shall I be in the panel?" I said, "Hey, Ethan, you've been organizing the biggest brain summits, and you cannot even join us. I know how humble you are." Hello, Ethan.
Hello, Antoine. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me participating in this Space Apps Challenge in Lebanon. I'm more than honored to be part of it. I have to say that I'm here because I'm learning. I'm not only learning from you, Antoine, and your team for organizing such a professional and competitive challenge, but also learning from all of the teams. I know a lot of the teams, they are participating right now. Every time I judge in any event, I told people I'm not only a judge, I'm also a learner, because I've learned so much from the innovations during the past 2 days. As Antoine said, I'm a Chinese entrepreneur. I'm saying hi from Boston, the United States right now. That's where I am based, but I'm a Chinese entrepreneur. And I'm so happy that China and Lebanon are linked through this special event because few years, I've seen so many innovation projects, not only from the developed countries like the US, but also from the developing world, like China, like countries in the Middle East, from Africa. I think it is opportunities like this, like the Space Apps Challenge in Lebanon, that connected people beyond the boundaries. So thank you so much, Antoine, again, for and I can't wait to see all of the great works from the teams. I have to say that I look forward to visiting Lebanon one day in the future after COVID. That's possible. And now I'll give the floor back to you because I'll still continue my learning journey from all of you and from all of the great works from the teams. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you of giving us this opportunity, and you're most welcome. Our houses are always open, and we are well known for our food and hospitality. So you have to come here, and of course, I will take good care of you. Don't worry, my friend. So nice meeting you again. Since we talked about Ethan and Simon, we'll go to other judges from Lebanon. I've been working with many. And I've been introduced to many, like Mrs. Nay or Nye. She likes to be called Nye. I'll ask her why after a while. And she's from the University of Development, one of the finest universities. And her name is Nay Mizanar, Doctor of Philosophy in Mechanics and Advanced Engineering Science, Chairperson of the Aircraft Maintenance Department, and member in the Royal Aeronautical Society. And that's exactly what we want. One thing about Nai, although I didn't have the chance to meet her, but I'm gonna meet you, of course, and we'll work on it, is she served our community in an amazing way that she even wanted to be involved in every question. Nai, we're proud of you. Your word, please. Word, of course.
Good evening. Hello, everybody all over the planet. First, I apologize. I'm not able to open my video. It's not supported on my browser. I wasn't able to download Microsoft on the computer I have right now. But I'm sure many opportunities will be present for us to meet live without this barrier of screen. But it's a great honor to be part of this challenge, and mainly to be part of this change that our beautiful country, Lebanon, highly needs. Antoine, thank you for working so hard on this event. We all know that managing a simple event is not easy. What about managing an event in conditions that are, let's not describe all the details, but we know that it's not so easy, but this is what the challenge is. I wanted to thank you, to thank a big thank you, if you want, to our participants, the students. They really worked hard, and coming sector from university, I know what our students are going through since 2 years with the pandemic, with the economical situation. They've been really working hard behind screens, doing sometimes online testing. They don't know their teachers, and now we propose to them an opportunity to raise the Lebanese flag high, and they took it. So my biggest thank you is to them, because they are the future, and we will be able to be proud of our Lebanon even more with their name.
Nai, thank you so much for your kind words, lovely word about Lebanon. We believe in Lebanon, and we are coming back soon. And we're going out of this, the worst economic situation in our history. So we've been the top 4 countries in the world, and somehow after this crisis, in some situations we're suffering. But I assure you, after finding our participants and our brains, or the Lebanese people had hope through media that we are making something again and again. Thank you, Anai, for your word again. We'll go also live with Mrs. Grace Harp. She is a very close friend of mine. When I started my career, Grace was there. She believed in my talent from the start, even on TV. When I met her, she introduced herself and she said, "I'm a fan of yours." And I even recall the minute I told her, "No, I'm a fan of yours, Grace." And at that time, she was working with Intel. Grace, she worked with women. She embraced women. And she gave her time to find brains from Lebanese women. She's a lawyer and CSR consultant, founding member of several NGOs as for initiating technology into education. And she's a STEM award judge for many, many summits. Grace, hello. Marhaba.
Hi, Tony. Hi, hello. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I am honored to be participating in this challenge. You make us proud, Tony, as always. And this is not a surprise for me, at least. I had the chance to work with you on several challenges, and I need to say thank you for everyone, and thank you for our teams and for your team for giving us this chance after those really hard times that we've been going through in Lebanon. I think this kind of challenges and competitions give us hope that our youth is still talented, and our talent pool is still existing in Lebanon, and they're just waiting for a little bit of opportunities like this one. So thank you very much.
You're most welcome, my friend. You know, everybody is growing. You're getting younger, Grace. I didn't see you for a while.
I think this is the technology effect.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, as a reminder, you're a very dear friend of mine. So I'll be seeing you soon. since we'll be working on other summits, and we'll make Lebanon again and again proud with your presence. Thank you, Grace. Let's go ahead with Mr. Rudy. But before we're going with Mr. Rudy, I would like also to get back to Mr. Joseph from Isaac University. I guess he fixed the connection thing from France.
I hope so. I hope so.
Hi, Mr. Joseph. So I'll give you the time. You can go ahead, please.
Sorry for that logistical problem. No, I just wanted to say that USAC is proud to be collaborating with you, Antoine, and with another challenge, and we'll put all our capabilities in support of the teams and their developments. During the competition, but also afterwards, because I think you're at the Asher Center. So you're at the heart of our innovation and entrepreneurship hub, surrounded by all our innovation team. So that will spare no efforts to help our young and our motivated people participating in this session. And as I told you, it is the most natural Lebanese response for a grumbling situation when in the darkest hour and in the darkest places to reach for the stars, and no one better than you to reach there with. So thank you, Antoine, and thank you for all the participants, and sorry again for that logistical problem.
It happens, sir. First of all, too many humble people tonight. That's why I'm very proud of you. And you just gave me a degree from your side. I know how many students graduated from your side, Dr. Joseph. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You made my day. And I promised you from the start that we are looking to the stars and beyond and even space. And let's work on what we've stated in our meeting, and let's keep it confidential for now. Thank you so much again and again. I'll see you soon. Have a very nice day. We'll go to Mr. Rudy Shushani. He is the DX Talks. He's a kind of a star in media. He's host, moderator, and organizer. Over 21 years of experience in technology, specialties in ICT governance, cybersecurity, and digital transformation. And he's been a judge before. I've met Mr. Rudy lately, and personally today, from our premises back at Isaac University with our control unit sitting next to me now. We welcome Mr. Rudy.
Yeah, thank you really for that. I'm really honored, and especially coming from Isaac, from Lebanon, from next to the teams, feeling the vibe and being with them. It's a big control room. I really feel I wanna just launch it, give it that 10, 9, 8, and then we wanna launch. So I'm really honored, and thank you for your comments and speech. I'm really honored today to be part of the NASA Space Program as a judge, and really want to congratulate you, Antoine, and of course the hidden soldiers that I just met before that are really doing amazing job, and hopefully this will bring more and more years to come in this. And most importantly, also the heroes themselves, the challengers, that in such a short time, according to what you told me, there were miracles happening in this space, and I want to congratulate them all and say good luck. What we are really building here today is for our children, maybe our children themselves. Maybe these will be life solutions or life-saving solutions that we might be using throughout the future. We are here all learning, and here also to help the teams and the challengers. So don't stop on any challenge. This is my small advice. Knock doors when you can, and knock them down or even break them down when everything stops. Just keep on moving. So in my name, in the name of organizers, all the best for you. Good luck, and to the moon, to the stars and beyond, and let's do it.
We promise you that. It's a pleasure of mine meeting you again and again, and your words for the participants, then that's our center of attention, or even the work we're planning to do with NASA, and even beyond that with the summits, or even the brain development program we're working on right now, and with different committees. But please allow me again to say, I'm the biggest learner in this challenge with my great team, or not my team, our team. They've shown extreme efforts and motivation. We didn't sleep, believe me. In 1 month, we've created such a project with just a limited timeline, so that we prove to the world and NASA itself. And allow me to thank NASA once again for such an opportunity for the first time ever in Lebanon. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to continue this presentation and talk about, or tell about, Mr. Hannah Murad. He's back in Paris, and I wanted to meet you back in Lebanon. But before I introduce Mr. Hannah, you have to know that we've been working in strict COVID-19 measures with NASA, very strict. And I've got back an approval from NASA to work closely virtual from Isaac University and the teams from their houses or work. Hannah, are you with us? Welcome.
Good afternoon. Bonsoir. I must thank you, Antoine, for inviting me to this event. It's a privilege for me to be here. And really, we must thank you for organizing this event, because it provides a window of hope for our young generation, especially in this hard time. As one of the gentlemen has said, Rabi', that Lebanon is a brain industry. What's missing is the infrastructure. So I think that this event goes in the right direction for building and providing the correct and appropriate infrastructure for our young talents and young generation. You know, Antoine, that here I was happy to see in Paris several successful entrepreneurial projects by Lebanese people. It's only about the infrastructure. The human potential is available in Lebanon, but we need the right and correct ecosystem. And I hope that it will be successful in the coming days. I'm sure, I'm confident it will be better in Lebanon. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah, for that. I'm sure that we have to stop the corrupted system in people, that they drain us with negativity, and that's what we broke in the last days. So Hannah, thank you very much. You have a doctorate in business administration, DBA, professor in management sciences, and we taught together in universities. It was a very nice experience. 10 years in banking and finance, more than 7 years of teaching in business schools in Lebanon, and you did work, or you joined as a judge in many competitions. Thank you so much from Paris. Bonsoir. Merci beaucoup. We will continue. I think that was the end of our judges, right? So everybody, welcome to the pitch time. And this pitch time at NASA Space Apps Lebanon, we will be going national and international. They're watching us from everywhere. And the bus went back to India, Sri Lanka, and other places. I was like surprised, because I know how much India, or even the Gulf area, they're very interested in space technologies, and the Arab world that we love, and we serve the Arabs with our brains. And of course, we will keep the relations between Arabs and Phoenicians. Let's continue. So the pitch time, we will be ready, or let's see Mr. Rida from Isaac University, his operations manager, to see if the teams are ready, so that we will enjoy the pitch time for a while. Then we will say thank you, and we will finish this closing. As for the time being, I'll ask, we'll take a kind of 1 minute break, and I'll get back to you. Okay, we're back with our teams, and randomly we're gonna pick some teams. So please, Lebanese teams, along from UZEC University or houses, at your houses, or even back at your offices. I know you're everywhere. It's Sunday, we're off, but this hackathon went far, far away. Let's get ready with the team. Liviosa, are you ready? Please share your screen or your screen with Rida so that we will kick off.
Okay, shall we start?
Please, judges, get ready. They will be having a presentation for 3 minutes. Then you have 3 minutes for Q&As. Let's start. Liviosa, it's your time. Good luck.
Hi, I am Khalid Khalid.
And I'm Julie Khalid.
We are Team Leviosa and we're cracking the DNA space debris in frequency domain.
Here's a literature review of high number of debris populations. The total count of debris is more than 17,000. So as the lower Earth orbit is more than 71% of the total count of the debris. Here's a space surveillance network of the ground stations installed. As you can see, ground stations might not be evenly distributed. Also, measuring systems have limitations, such as optical sensors require objects to be in sunlight, or sensors in the dark. We used NASA data to locate the ground stations. Then, we created a population of debris as shown in red and blue. As noticed, it is possible that not all debris passing on this occasion were detected by ground stations. Potential blind spots were noticed.
To distinguish the possible unnoticed debris populations, we propose the tracking and mapping of debris in the frequency domain using Fourier transform. Since we did not obtain the NASA raw data from the optical sensor, we used an Arduino experimental setup to represent sunlight data and a passing debris population. We used a modulated light source to simulate the effect of passing debris under the sunlight, and also a light detector to simulate a ground radar. And there was used, this is a typical signal that we obtained from an optical sensor. Over here, our proposed method can identify two different populations, A and B, as shown here. So in population A, if we apply the Fourier transform, we can get the following frequencies. When we apply it to another population, we get a different frequency representation. So different populations of debris will lead to different DNA signatures in both frequencies and amplitudes. So our method can also distinguish distorted debris population. So here, for example, if we consider the distorted population shown in blue, we can see that the frequencies are still the same. So for the same debris population A, even with slight distortions, both DNA signatures have the same frequencies but with different amplitudes. So we believe this method, together with the existing techniques, allows us to prevent further collisions and give us early warnings for safer space discoveries.
Thank you.
So, did you finish your presentation so that we can get ready with the judges? Okay, just a kind of reminder for judges that you will be checking the 3-minute videos as a pitch so that you know they are very ready, and you will be receiving forms for international grading, and almost all the teams by 11:59 they will be ready for NASA's submission as for or per their rules and regulations. Judges, can we start please with Mr. Ethan? Mr. Ethan, I guess he's not listening to us. Okay, great.
Hello, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, Mr. Ethan. You can go ahead if you want to ask them anything. And just for your info, Liviosa team did use NASA's data.
Thank you. Can I start my question?
Yes.
Thank you, team, for presenting. I really enjoy your presentation. I think my question is generic and very simple. Can you explain to us a little bit about the obstacles you've met and overcome during your last 12 hours, 24 hours innovation for this idea? Because I'm really interested in how you overcame what is the most obstacle that you've met during this innovation and how you've overcome you.
Yes. So first of all, we didn't really find some raw data for the optical sensors, so we used the Arduino to perform this test, and we also came with the challenge with some coding in Java. It was really difficult for us, but we overcome it, and we made a 3D visualization of the NASA satellite and debris motion around the Earth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so please, for judges, you can go ahead. Any judge can ask any question, not by randomly. So go ahead. You are open as for the discussion with the team. Thank you. So, Mr. Joseph, go ahead, please.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, from someone who worked a lot in signal processing, in fact, did you find any problems with the FFT, so especially on the FFT doubling, because you were talking about different amplitudes that were not very clear on the spectrum that you showed. Did you find any limitation dealing with FFT, and did you try any time frequency methods other than the FFT?
No, we were trying to look for an easier way to locate these or track these debris. So we thought about the FFT method because we knew that it can track these debris in a maybe easier way. Yes, and we can, from the frequencies, we can define the size of the debris and the shape and the separation, the distribution of the debris in a certain population.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Simon, go ahead, please, sir.
Good evening. I wanted to ask how this would work in practice. Is this an analysis which would be continuously performed? In other words, it's embedded in the stations and the tracking you described, or is this an analysis where you have to extract data and then you perform it with some frequency, say daily?
Yes, so when the ground station receives the signal from to track the debris, this signal we transfer it using the Fourier transform theory to the frequencies. So we only use the signal to transfer it to the frequency, and with respect to the frequency, we can then track these debris in an easier way.
And that would be performed continuously as signals are received?
Yes.
I see. So it would be a real time, you would get real-time results that an operator could read, and they would be able to do something with that.
Yes.
Thank you. Great. Smart application.
Wow, you got just a certificate from Mr. Simon, believe me. Okay, any judge want to ask the lovely Liviosa team from the judges so that we can shift to another? Mrs. Nay, go ahead, please.
Good job, Julia and Khalid. I just had one question. We know that tracking space debris nowadays is something that is very essential in safety management systems all over the aviation world and the astronautical one. But how is your proposal different from what is already being done in the industries?
Yes, so when we simulated this 3D visualization, we came out with that ground stations sometimes locate or track most of the debris, sometimes not. Let's assume a population A, and it tracked like most of it, but some debris are maybe not tracked. So we're just giving a new method that can maybe an easier way to track all this population, even if it was disordered, we can still track them in an easier way, a quick way, and we can know the shape, the size, and separation debris.
Okay. And
Okay.
have you thought about the added value later on? So you're tracking them, but then what's the next step?
Well, it's only to get the value to track them. So when like a spaceship wants to launch, we can avoid collisions or maybe
syndromes.
Yes.
Okay, great job. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the judges. The 3 minutes are just up, so we'll go to another team. The team CRDP. Can you get ready, please?
Good evening.
Hello, Mrs. Frida from the CRDP team. So you will be having questions from the judges. We're very proud of you, and you have 3 minutes to make your presentation, Frida.
Thank you. We're going to start with our pitch. I'm going to share.
You have to زادت scroll. ممكن يعمل screen.
I need a place to stop. I'm sorry.
CRDB team, we're just waiting for your PowerPoint presentation, please.
I'm sorry if the video is not very clear. I'm going to try to clarify everything in the PowerPoint.
Yes, please. Yes, please. So you go with the PowerPoint, and you go with your voice, please, Frida. Thank you.
Can you see clearly?
Yes. Go ahead, please.
Okay. So our project is about urban development using satellite data and drone data to develop more better urban plans for Lebanon and definitely later on, hopefully, for the whole world. This project uses, as I said before, data and UAV data. This is going to be very important for Lebanon because Lebanon lacks such information to have better plans for the future. So definitely this application is a very good addition to our society and to our environment. As you can see, Urban Watch is an application, a web application, where the user is going to use it later on to take from it certain recommendations for anything, for construction, for agriculture, for environment, for using renewable energy resources. As you can see, we used satellite data from NASA. We process these data. We have drone data, and we have land-based data from rovers. How does it work? We took this data and the drone data, we merged, we combined, we processed, and we were able to extract from the processing of data some information about certain variables. The variables are definitely different things. They could be luminosity, vegetation ratio, percentage of humidity in the soil and in air, temperature, percentage of carbon monoxide. All of these things we were able to extract using the drone. And definitely we compared it with the data from the satellite. You can see here how it works as the application, how it works. The user is going to input his login and password, and definitely he's going to be directed to a map where he can choose the coordinates. And once he chooses the coordinates, an output can be seen on the third screen, which explains everything about this region, all the information, definitely, as I said before, taken from data and from the drones and other, other devices. So why is it important for us? Well, as we all know, Lebanon lost a lot of its green regions. Lebanon has a lot of issues with pollution. We have some randomness in plans in cities and in urban regions. So definitely we really need such an application that can also help us in reducing bureaucracy for waiting for someone to go and check the land or maybe process any samples taken from any region. What do we expect in the future to happen? One of the major obstacles we faced were definitely the logistic issues we are facing in Lebanon lately. That we weren't able to extract from different regions other than the Bekaa Valley. And this is actually the case study for our application. If we were able to do, if we had more time actually, we would have covered a larger area and we would have taken more samples, compared more, because as you well know, all processing data takes really a lot of time. And this is basically what our application does. We actually wish to cover all of Lebanon, and definitely we wish to reach for a global usage for this application.
Fida, I can see you didn't show the drone you've used, and the thing as the device was massively structured. Yeah, can you show it to the judges before, please?
Oh, I think it's shown in the video.
Oh, that's why. Okay, so because it's very important for the judges to know that you've been using like the latest technology for the satellites.
Definitely. You are totally right. Mr. Rudy, can I have your help, please? I'm sorry, but because my laptop decided at the very minute.
If you can just be fast, please, because we're out of time.
Apologies.
Fida, let's start with the Q&A, then you can show the image, no problem, so that we will prepare it.
I'm really sorry, I'm going to show the image. 1 minute, please. It's just the technical issues.
We're somehow out of time, so if you just go to the questions, please, and then you can show us the image, no problem. They can check it on the video that I sent. So go ahead. So Mr. Simon, if you can ask the first question, please.
Hi, Rudy and team. I wanted to ask about your use of data from NASA. Can you give some examples? What sort of data have you used, and what conclusions does it lead to?
Yes, we use vegetation ratios. We used maps of carbon monoxide concentrations. We actually weren't able to use more data because we don't have enough time to cover matching data from the drones in Lebanon. Like, for example, I don't have enough information to compare it with let's talk about luminosity. Luminosity was one of the main issues. For example, to say, are these regions covered well by sunlight, like say for a large interval of time, to compare it with the luminosity from data, let's say, from NASA sites. So unfortunately, we only were able to process vegetation ratios and carbon monoxide.
And were each of those a static measure at one point in time, or were you able to track that over time?
Okay. Can I have this? Can I refer this question to my other teammate, or it's not possible?
Of course. Go ahead, please.
My other teammate is simply in France. I'm going to ask Mr. Paul Milky if you can please answer this question for me.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. So this is Paul. I'm in France right now. So basically, the data from NASA is available over time and over space, of course. So we have the variability over the spatial dimension and the temporal dimension. For the current implementation of our application, we made a certain simplification. So we only combine data on the spatial dimension, and we made a certain simplification to forget about the temporal, because going into spatio-temporal models is a bit complex at this moment. So for now, we only combine at the spatial dimension, but I agree that time should also be taken into consideration.
Mm-hmm. I understand. Thank you. And just to finish up with an encouragement that I appreciate your ambition to develop this so it can be used worldwide. You know, in this way, Lebanon, if you apply it just to Lebanon, which is sort of an area that you know very well, and it's only a certain size, it makes a very good pilot. So I appreciate that ambition. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Simon. So the time is up. I guess that's a go team also. Good luck with it. I agree. It's okay. They will watch the video. Don't worry about it. Thank you, Pida, and good luck with the team. The other team will go with and be ready.
Please.
Yes, Mr. Hanna, let's go.
I have one remark to Fida. Your project is very relevant. By relevant, I mean it's important. Why? Because in Lebanon, since several years, and even before the current crisis, there have been several studies and research on behalf and on the table of the Lebanese government, research and studies and plan like McKinsey plan that were trying to provide a solution on how to develop agricultural sector and rural sector in Lebanon. And the focuses of all these plans was on technology. Most of the plans provided recommendation on how to introduce technology into agricultural activities and rural projects. And the importance of your project is that it goes in parallel with these recommendations that focuses on the technology and the introduction of technology into agricultural activities. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. We'll get back to our other team, and then let's see what team we're going forward to. Okay, the speed of light. Are you ready? Okay, great. So let's start with the presentation. You have 3 minutes, please.
Hello.
And then Q&A, 3 minutes also. Good luck.
Hello, I'm Sebastian Nasha. I'm team representative of the Speed of the Light. With me here is Alan Safar, team leader. He will introduce you to the basics of the theory that led to our solution. He will also introduce you to the basics of the solution for our challenge when light falls through us curveballs.
Hello, I am Alan Safar. I am the one who created the equation theory C equal pi megameters per second for the speed of light in absolute emptiness. We have found a solution for our challenge, and it is that from the speed of light C equal pi megameters per second, we can recognize the shape of the asteroids from a far distance point. If our calculation of the light beam that comes from the asteroid is equal to pi, that means the asteroid shape is circular in the point of the observer. And if it's equal to 1, that means it is angular. And if it's equal to 0, it's flat or Boolean. On another hand, it was hard for the scientists to recognize the shape of the asteroids from far distance point, because they only know that the high intensities mean that the asteroid is near, and low intensities mean that the asteroid is far. So we have added to the solution another development of comprehension, that if the light intensity is high, it means that the asteroid shape from the point we see it is circular. Because of the fundamental of the total eclipse of the sun and moon, we know that the light aura is circular and flashes its light when they collapse on each other. So the asteroid at infinity rotation will be spherical and circular in the zeta function of Riemann in the n dimension. If the asteroid light intensity is medium, it means that the asteroid shape is angular. And if it is low, it is flat or Boolean. T equal pi gives NASA protection and prosperity through a better development enlightenment while chasing the asteroids.
We have also created a prototype application that applies our calculation to calculate using the distance of the asteroids to recognize their shapes, and we firmly believe that the theory C equal pi will change the world for better and will help NASA dive deeply into space in a secure manner. We are the speed of the light. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Please, can we just a note for the respected judges? We will be having one question per team. Go ahead, please.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Joseph, go ahead, please, sir.
I will double the question. In one question, two questions. Effectively, what if the light traveling from the asteroid hits another object on the way to the photoreceiver? What will happen in that case, and how would you set the thresholds of high, medium, and low?
If the asteroid if the light of the asteroid hit another asteroid, if the asteroid, the other one is smaller, so we see the light. And if it's bigger, the light will be not shown. Okay? So we will take a further step
because
to show the light, and we will want to wait for just a few steps to see the light. If we don't see the light, we don't recognize the shape.
And that means
so it's hidden. That asteroid, it's hidden in the end because it's away from the other asteroid.
No, but effectively you're measuring the intensity of the light that you are receiving.
Okay.
We're not using the intensity. We're also using the light curve when it comes into the telescope, linked to the program. When this program it uses the distance, the main solution is using the distance from the asteroid, the light curve into the telescope. This distance divided by pi countless of times till it reaches a minimal number. If it's close to pi, it's between 2.9 and 3.5, and it means it's close to pi, that's circular. If it's between 0.5 and 1.5, it means it's close to 1, that means it's angular. If it's between negative 0.5 and 0.5, that means it's flat or Boolean. We just added the part of intensity because scientists these days only know that intensity means how far the distance is. By using the distance and the speed of light with the theory of Alain, we can calculate the shapes of the asteroids by doing this calculation over and over again till we get all the angles, whether it's 3D or 4D of the asteroid from any distance you want.
So if we lost the signal of light, we will lose the shape of the asteroid. It's so simple. We will never know the shape from far distance. We will wait till the next step to see the light that comes, even if we lost the asteroid. It doesn't matter.
Because if an
So we
asteroid,
will wait.
if a bigger asteroid is in front of that smaller asteroid, that means that the scientists will see the asteroid when they're going to space. They'll see the bigger asteroid before they see the smaller asteroid. That means
Okay.
that
Time's up. Thank you so much. I guess the idea is there. I do thank you. Good luck. I've seen you working hard, and let's hope you will be a winner. Thanks. The next team we're going to, and they are into gaming. As for space, Rumians, are you ready?
Yes, we are. I just need the permission to share my screen.
Okay, granted the permission.
Okay, I will start.
Yeah, start. You have only 3 minutes.
All right.
Melissa, go ahead.
Okay, good evening everyone. This is Melissa Akiki from the Rumians team. My teammate Jean-Paul Saba and I tackled the Trip to Mars Can You Keep Your Crew Alive challenge. Most dreams and dreams realization start at an early age, that is between 10 and 14 years old, our middle schooler audience. However, communicating the information in a fun way can be tough sometimes, especially that middle schoolers aren't well familiar with the health risks and challenges astronauts face, nor their duties. Therefore, the best way for kids to learn is through a game, and the best way to train their brain and fix the information is through repetition. They will undeniably, remember this next to our puzzle idea, they will undeniably repeat the level more than once, thus get to review the information many times. It consists of 8 levels. In each, the player will learn 1 or more space challenges through a puzzle. Now, challenges include health, radiation, isolation challenges, and more. Some of the astronauts' duties, like watering plants and repairing O2 tanks. However, you'll have to solve a puzzle in order to repair it. For example, instead of using sensors and electrodes for the multi-device, they will solve a puzzle in order to repair it. We made sure to include all space flight hazards, space radiation, isolation, distance from Earth, gravity, and closed environment. We also included links to actual research papers to stimulate scientific curiosity like recommended. Therefore, space agencies' data were behind all the accuracy of the information used. We made sure the player will never lose because of their lack of understanding the information, but mainly of game settings. We want them to repeat the level more than once so that the information sticks like a glue in their head. That our game is very straight to the point and is characterized by its simplicity and brain teaser twist. Now, our audience was mainly for the middle schooler. We were thinking if we could upgrade it one day and address a bigger audience, the one of scientists, and create for them a modeling tool and include multiple features. For example, instead of getting reports from a scanning a medical scan, they will have to figure out what's wrong with the avatar from certain symptoms. And finally, our motto, Mars, here we go. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. So we go with Mr. Rudy. I guess he's the man for such invention. Mr. Rudy, go ahead, please, sir.
Yeah, first I just want to say, for that age bracket and what you guys are doing is great. Democratizing space on that early stage and early age. You mentioned something related to the data that they are accurate, but you didn't mention where you're getting the data for it to be accurate. And secondly, how will this scale over time and make it as because you're trying to get it real into one space, so that realism of data and then memorizing and repeating. I'm really interested in the data source and what else things or other data you need for it to be more realistic.
Okay, regarding the data we used, so in each level was very unique coding-wise and style-wise. Okay, so for example, whenever I needed to include, for example, the 5 space flight hazards like acceleration, radiation, etc., I used the link NASA provided, the resources NASA provided, what are the main challenges of each one, and I tried to make it inside the game. I'm pretty sure in over 3 minutes video you will maybe understand more how we used it. But if you want me to give more examples right now, I could. I could do
just a quick follow-up question. Where are you in the development of the game? At what percent? What we saw is something extracted from it?
Sorry, extracted? What do you mean by
the visuals we saw, was it extracted from the game or?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, our game is totally finished, yes.
Okay, Mr. Rudy, do you have something to add?
No, thank you. Thank you.
Have a couple of seconds, or shall we go to Mr. Ethan?
Yes, jump to
Okay.
Mr. Ethan. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Ethan, can you go ahead, please, sir?
Sure. Thank you, team. This is a very exciting idea, I should say, because I have been working in education and working with a lot of middle and high school students in China and abroad. I would see a lot of demands from the school teachers, from students' parents, wanting their kids to, play this kind of game as opposed to some other games. So I have a very simple question, because I could see there is a global need in the education market for this kind of educational videos. Do you want to start from Lebanon, or what is your ultimate goal? Are you going to, do you want to roll this out to other countries? Because if that's the case, I think I would encourage you to learn about the education systems in different countries, because for middle school students, I know some countries, they've already had the physics linked to space science, and some schools, they've already had the rocket club or the space club. So I think my question is where do you want to see it go? Just in Lebanon, or roll it out to other parts of the world, and some recommendations for you to think about. Yeah.
Okay, so in the 48 hours hackathon we had, so we didn't have exactly the time to really study the educational system around the globe. So we tried to make it as general as possible and be able to tackle this age. Like you noticed, we used a 2D cartoonish design to better dive into the kids' world. Now, answering your question, of course, I would love to see my game used in schools one day to better educate kids in a fun way. So they're not learning directly; they're having fun. They're solving puzzles. They're repeating the level. So yeah, I would love to one day, study a little bit more about the educational system in general, like in this certain area. Range and introduce it into the education system. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Time's up. Thank you, Mr. Ethan. I guess that would be a great technical business, right? That's the second joke for today. Anyways, thank you, Melissa. You've done a good job, and I think it's a big need for education, and that's why NASA is targeting such a challenge. We will go to another team, which is Escape Velocity. Get ready, please.
Hi, I'm preparing the presentation.
Okay, we will give you the permission. And you have 3 minutes only, please, as a reminder.
It's taking a moment to load.
Okay, we'll get back to you, so just prepare yourself, please.
The connection is not helping. I'm trying to share, but...
It is okay, we understand that. So we will be going to Dark Matter. Are you ready, please?
We are ready, Doctor.
Okay, go ahead, please. We will be listening to you. Good luck.
Thank you. Chris, can you share the screen, please?
Yes, we're giving you the permission.
I need the permission for
yes,
Chris.
Permission granted.
All right. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for having us here. It's been a pleasure. And this is our team, Dark Matter, and we are taking on the NASA Space Apps Challenge Planetary Lander. Noor Bunasser is the team representative and AI engineer and game developer. Ziad Kashif is the art director and storyboard creator. Chris Yunus is the 3D and gameplay designer. Joseph El-Haj, the physics programmer, and myself, the gameplay designer. Our mission is to make education in a fun and interactive way, and we did so by morphing a complex physics challenge as landing on Mars into a fun gaming experience. We designed missions and experience point system to reward the player upon task completion. We added value to the project with immersive 3D and 2D graphics and animation. We integrated breakthrough AI technology as a player assistant. As we can see here, our solution encompasses two parts. Part 1 focuses on the landing simulation and interactive game. Part 2 focuses solely on the free navigation and education. In the landing simulation, we have used physics equations with interactive 3D models to give the player a real feel of landing on Mars. For the interactive education part, we have used embedded AI generated text-to-speech to educate the player on the different planets in our solar systems. And of course, all the information was gathered from NASA. As for our unique features, we have included control of the MM and control on the Orion when landing on Mars. The player can control and operate the MM to go to far places when he's on a mission to collect samples, for example. And as for controlling Orion, the player can use thrusters and parachutes to change the Orion speed. And one unique feature is then when the player makes some kind of a mistake, the AI assistant guides him and tells him what he did wrong. So we are giving the player a motivation to try again, and we are telling him what to do so next time he will get it right. In our future, if we were given more time, we could have added a text-to-speech generation, and we would have integrated neural networks for AI natural language processing. We would have added more missions like lab testing and Mars colonization, and we would have improved special effects in the game like system particles and introducing some weather changes when on Mars.
Okay, time is up. Time is up. I guess you have such an innovation, and I know how hard you worked on that. As for just a reminder for our respected judges, our Lebanese students are fluent in French, Arabic, Lebanese, and that's why sometimes you see Lebanese people with some capabilities of English and some others with fluent English as for American English or British English. So take this into consideration. So the first question goes to Mr. Simon. Go ahead, please, sir.
Howdy. I enjoyed watching your graphics there, thinking about playing the game. I'm wondering, does a player learn learn anything about the underlying equations and calculations. In other words, the celestial mechanics of the flight path is calculated by some underlying equations. So when you make choices, like in the example you showed where there was an error, can the player learn something about the underlying mechanics or equations?
The equations were indeed used in the program, in the coding, but it is not available for the player. The player can monitor the altitude of the Orion spaceship, and he can monitor the speed of the Orion. When the player has to be at a certain altitude and at a certain speed for them to get into the orbit, so that it would allow them to land. If they didn't get to a certain to the orbit, Orion would lose its track and it would never land.
Right. Sure. And regarding the AI, artificial intelligence, can you give an example of how a player would interact with the AI?
Yes,
What's an example? Go ahead.
Yes. For example, the AI will assist you in the game. For example, if you did a mistake, it will tell you that it's a mistake. For example, also when you look, for example, on the planet, it gives you information gathered by the data of NASA and will tell you information about this certain planet. And if you look again at the same planet, it will tell you another information, but in another way. So it's basically like giving the same information, but in different ways. So it's not consistent. Right.
Gotcha. I know you have quite a list there already of things you want to do as a next step, but I'll add an idea, which is that it would be neat if the player had a way to learn about the equations and maybe even about the AI. For example, there could be some user selectable attributes about how the AI is applied, and then the player would be learning what that does. And regarding the equations, maybe there would be a way to build a learning module where a more advanced player could see the equations at work and why they will miss that planet.
Exactly. These are some great points that you have added. Thank you very much.
Did you use, are the equations Newtonian or are they relativistic?
This is maybe my point.
Say again?
I'm Joseph Al-Haj. I'm in charge of the physics simulation for the dark matter team and the challenge. I'm used Newtonian mechanics because maybe relativistic is a bit hard for Unity to simulate, and since we are at a large scale and we have Mars in isolation, so maybe we don't have a lot of need to make something maybe more sophisticated than Newtonian mechanics.
That makes sense. Good choice. Thank you.
Well done.
Okay, thank you. So I think, Mr. Joseph, do you have something like rapid thing to ask before we jump to another team?
Effectively, I had the same question as Simon, the second question of Simon, but did you think about integrating augmented reality into that, using goggles or something like that?
Yes, we have thought about it, and it's mentioned in our future work.
That makes the point. Thank you very much for your time. We're very proud of you, and I know you are just communicating through France, Lebanon, and other countries. So welcome once again. We get back to escape velocity, and I guess this time you're ready. Our team fixed everything over there in fast time. Go ahead, please.
Hi. So I guess we're good now?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Okay, great. So we're escape without velocity. We're 60 members, and the challenge which we chose was when life throws us curveballs. The question was to draw the relationship between asteroids, their shape, and the shape of their light curve. It's basically the same one that the speed of light shows. We have a pretty different approach. So what we are trying to do is to democratize the problem in some sense. The first step in our journey, we have quite a plan. And the first step in this plan is to first democratize it, to make it accessible to anyone. So first we came up with the two softwares. The first one takes in a 3D model, a .object file, and gives out the light curve with few parameters. The user can change the parameters, and it's very user-friendly. The second one we're using is, I'm sorry, it's not my computer, so I'm having problems. Yes. So the second software we're using does not take in a 3D model, but a video of something that you can film with anything, basically. You could take a rock and film it with your phone. And the software would give out the shape, the light curve. This is the first step in our solution. Our solution consists of there are three milestones we actually want to reach. And we just reached the first one, making it easy and accessible to anyone, but also making it fun to use. Now that it's fun to use, our second goal would be to generate data by getting a big number of people to use this software. These people will provide us with all kinds of light curves, a lot of data, paired up with a lot of parameters. And we sincerely hope that this would allow us someday to use the data that was provided, the big amount of data, in order to train an artificial intelligence, in order to do the same work, but the other way around, taking in the light curves and giving out a 3D model. So, in this sense, we kind of went beyond the original question. The first question asked by NASA was to draw a simple relationship, making it accessible to anyone. But we won't stop here. We want to do something greater. And this greater thing would be to really make an impact, make a change, and come up with a solution that would allow us, by observing asteroids or objects that are floating in space, maybe space junk, maybe asteroids, whatever there is in space. And
Mohammed, your time is almost done. Do you have anything else to mention before the questions?
Yes, I want to mention that solving this problem is actually really important. First, because of the huge amount of debris that is in Earth's orbit currently, and that may lead to a lot of problems. Secondly, for NASA's Lucy mission that is leaving pretty soon to the Trojan asteroids. And we really don't know much about these Trojan asteroids because we don't have the tools to study them. And we really hope that this tool, if well designed and well implemented, would help this mission to succeed.
Okay, so thank you very much for your efforts and time. You have given this solution as for your challenge. Judges, go ahead, please. Okay. So if any judge wants to ask a question, please go ahead. Ethan.
Thank you, Tim, for presenting this innovative project. I think I have a very simple question of the users of your design, because I know the study of the light curve has been applied in space science, but also in some other fields, like in biology, agriculture. The study of the light curve is widely used in some countries. So I'm very interested in knowing who do you think would be your users of this?
So the softwares we created were intended to be easy and fun to use. You take your phone, you film something. You could film an apple, and you get the light curve of an apple. This could be very interesting for school students, teachers trying to communicate ideas about advanced physics to children that probably don't know much about physics. Also for anyone that really wants to feel like an astronomer but isn't. Being an astronomer is a dream pretty much everyone has, and really it's not something everyone can achieve. It gives you the tool to feel for once like you're an astronomer, and do actual measurements that give out actual data. That actually helps someone. All of us, actually.
So educational purpose is one of your main considerations when you develop this, right?
Yeah, the educational aspect was actually the main goal, and then we decided to go beyond it.
Case, any other question, please, before we end the Q&A for this team? Okay, so we'll keep going for tonight, and we will be with Moment team.
Yes, hello.
Yes, hello, go ahead. I guess you've been granted permission. Go ahead and with your presentation, you have 3 minutes only, please. Stick to the timer.
Okay, hello, we are Moment Team. I am Noor Abu Hamdan, the representative of the team. My teammates are Sarah Aitani, Zainab Aisa, Maryam Muhanna, Manal Jaber, and Ali Al-Ghoul. We chose the challenge Unlocking the Secrets of the Sun. And when we talk about the sun, the heliophysics, and the sun's missions, the first mission that came up to our mind is the Parker Solar Probe mission. Why the Parker Solar Probe? It's the first probe that gets this near to the sun, launched in August 2018, and putting a target to approach close to 9.86 from the solar radii. So the Parker Solar Probe gave us lots of data, but the main problem faced here is that not all the public is aware of the importance of this data provided. And when we talk about heliophysics, the first thing that came to the mind public are all those equations and complicated laws. And because we are physics students from the Lebanese University, we like learning physics with fun. So we came up with a solution. A series of episodes that based on an animated character inside a mobile application. So the animated character is Mr. Momentum, a funny scientist and astronaut who will be guiding us through the Parker Solar Probe pathway, tracking the main spot and drawing attention to the importance of the data collected by the heliophysics mission and the Parker Solar Probe especially. So where can you find Mr. Momentum? You will find him inside our application, the Sunpedia, an interactive application friendly for the user, and we mean by friendly, it's simple and suitable for all the ages and all the public. So what can you find inside our application? You can find 4 tabs: the home, where you can find the guide application, the challenges, we will be posting puzzles and simple quiz. When the user slows down, he will be opening the door to the next probe destination, the videos where all the episodes will be grouped, and Momentum, about Momentum, the biography of who is Momentum, where is he right now, what is the spot and the location of the probe where he will talking with us. And furthermore, we have lots of ideas that we can put in our app later on, like 3D modelings and the data provided when NASA will give up more data, will be uploading more episodes, and of course, lots of animated new characters who will be with Mr. Momentum and guiding us through all the heliophysics missions. Be part of Mr. Momentum journey, and we hope that it will be a good tool that will be captive all the hearts and curious hearts all over the world. So thanks for NASA's data provided. Thanks for you as well as your support, and happy hackathon.
Okay, thank you, Noor, and please, judges, go ahead. Rudy, you're the media man. Let's go.
Yeah, if you just mind helping me understand, how are you analyzing the data that was given to you, using what methodologies or algorithms? And secondly, to what age are you targeting this, and what is the not just the purpose of, we understand the purpose, but based on the age bracket that you are choosing?
I will first respond to the second question and let my teammates respond to the first question. About the target, it's for the public who don't have a lot of knowledge about the importance of heliophysics missions. And for the data, we are writing scripts together. And for the app, Manal, are you here? It's for you.
Yes, I am here. I am Manan. I'm designing a mobile app where Mr. Momentum shares his experience in space. It's like a vlog or something. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So where Mr. Momentum shares his experiences in space and uploads the episodes that talks about his experience traveling to the sun. It will share a lot of information about the Parker Solar Probe, and contains challenges where the user can solve these challenges in order to move through the episodes. And it talks a little about Mr. Momentum and the mission in general.
Hello, I am Sarah Aitani, a team member in Moment Team. Actually, the challenge is to invent a tool that is interactive and attractive for users to get knowledge about heliophysics missions. You know, not many people are interested in knowing in heliophysics missions and about space in general. So we developed an app actually that is an educational one. Then we utilized the data from NASA about the exploration of the probe, and show the user the importance of this data. In general, this data and explorations of the probe help.
You can go ahead. Don't worry. It happens to all of us.
Okay.
First myself.
Don't worry. Go ahead.
The probe mission in general is to explore more, to make a safe environment for the space missions and for the astronauts themselves, to secure them from the solar flares. And the main mission of the probe is to collect information to allow NASA to predict the time of the solar flare and get ready before the.
Okay, so I guess that's clear.
Thank you.
We'll go to Mrs. Grace. You have like a fast question for the lovely team?
Actually, yes, a very fast one. Actually, just a small comment, because I'm very happy that this is a team with the majority of ladies. So this is very impressive. This is very interesting for me. And my question actually, they answered to it. They just answered it, but I'm gonna ask it again. So what would make me? Why would you make me download your application?
That's a tricky question.
For that, we know that people in general are not interested in space. When you talk to someone about space, he go away. No, I don't want to hear. So we made the application. The user solves a challenge and unlock a short scientific animated episode explaining what did this probe explore. knowing that this mission is sent to the unexplored regions in space. So it is the first of its kind.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
These episodes are animated, and nowadays people just go to the animated stuff in order to watch videos on YouTube and stuff in order to expand their knowledge. So that may trigger their attention, and they would just press a button and then go to the episodes and watch them happily.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. You know, I'm always a fan of women in science, and that's why Grace was waiting for the right moment. Thank you, Grace. I love that interaction. And now we go to the team, Ega or Vega. So let's see what's next. Is the team ready? Vega? Okay, so they're ready. Go ahead. 3 minutes. Eli, I know, Tommy, that you've been working a lot.
Okay. Hello.
Go ahead, please, sir.
Yes. I am in the team Vega with my partner Tommy Chuma and myself, Elisa Bali. Our team is about having a challenge to prevent wildfires and to detect pollution and to stop the issues we are having on planet Earth. To preserve forests, we have many things to do, and pollution is contributing in having global warming. Global warming is causing ice melting in the poles, floods, drought, hurricanes, and mostly wildfires. And the pollution are helping a lot with the deforestation in giving our bad health, and the global warming, also the wildfires. Our challenge is to detect heat stress areas, the AQI, which is air quality index, and the wildfire risk in forest. We have to prevent the fire, and by giving warnings, alarms that there is a potential of wildfire happening soon. The Vega platform is a software based to monitor heat stress intensity around the globe. Simply, you can choose the country, and the platform will classify major cities in this country by their heat stress level. The forecast can help us a lot today and the next day to take it into consideration for deep analysis and to give us the result. The precaution measures are also displayed to the users to help him stay safe during the heat wave. The platform also monitors the AQI around the globe by classifying the cities around according to the pollution level. The major pollutant gases are many, and mostly the important one is the PM 2.5. The precaution measures are also displayed to the user to help him stay safe when the air is polluted. Alerts and messages can be sent to the citizens of polluted cities and for the world to know where are the sources of pollution. And now the risk of wildfires and drought in the forest. The platform uses many variables to estimate if a wildfire is about to occur in a forest. It proceeds by detecting the forest in an area on the map and analyzes the data of that area to estimate the risk of fire occurrence. A fire can occur if we have a very high temperature, low humidity, and a high wind speed. And of course, the root soil moisture, which is obtained from NASA satellites, and it was adopted by NASA, the research from NASA that showed a strong correlation between the timing and location of low soil moisture and the occurrence of wildfire. And the dried plants actually become fuel for the fire. This is our software is completed.
Eli, our time is up. Our time is up. I'm really sorry to interrupt you, but you can show this slide. It's very important. I know how hard you worked on this application. Go ahead. You have a couple of seconds, please.
Yeah, this is our software. This is the final slide. You can choose the country or a state in the United States, and it shows you if you have the heat stress, you have air quality index in the area, and the weather information today and tomorrow, and there there's lots of information that can help people to stay safe and to protect the forest near us. That's it.
Yeah, I will add a note for the international community. Most of the media propaganda that they made in Lebanon, that Lebanon is like a desert or we have camels. We don't have a desert and we don't have camels. It's a very greeny area. We have mountains with plenty of snow in the winter, and at the same time, the beach, the sand beach, is like almost 5 minutes away from the mountains. So, judges, Mr. Simon, go ahead, please, sir.
Hi, thanks for your presentation. Can you talk about the sources for the data and how that will work real time? For example, I'm curious about the computing intensity needed to process and present accurate data real time.
Yes, the real time, for the real time, we faced lots of issues, especially with NASA sources, because we couldn't, till now, we couldn't take any data from NASA to be real live. We took from cross sources, cloud sources, and we took from NASA only the soil moisture and we took the soil moisture mainly from NASA back to 1 month before, and to study this soil moisture 1 month and to know if the soil is really a drought or not. This has big research for NASA to prove that if the soil moisture is dry, it will help to have a wildfire. This only we took from NASA, and it's very important actually. And our sources are really in real life, in real data, accurate today and at the moment.
Could a person see the history? So I've gone to a location, and could I see the last 1 month and how it developed?
Well, that's a nice idea. We didn't do that. We can implement it, and we will implement this solution because it's really very useful for the world. Even if we don't win, hopefully not. If we don't win, we're gonna implement it in the website to have it as to help people to know the climate, to know the pollution, the AQI, to know the heat stress, and especially to detect the forests from the wildfires. We can predict that. If we have for 2 or 3 days very hot weather, low humidity, and low moisture in a forest, either the fire is human-made or natural-made, it will be a wildfire.
Yeah, great, thank you. I see another judge has a question. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mr. Simon. Just a note that our area has been having lots of fires, Lebanon, Greece, and Turkey. So, Mrs. Nag, can you go ahead, please? Mrs. Nag? Let's say Dr. Nag.
Okay, I unmuted. So, Vega team, good job, great idea. Widely used all over the planet, especially for here in Lebanon with the last huge fires that took place. Have you thought about implementing a drone, measuring on daily basis, trying also maybe to detect some debris, some cigarettes, some whatever can initiate a certain wildfire in order to update all this data?
Well, actually, we don't need a drone to detect this. From the satellites, we can detect the start of a fire, and we can detect this. We have simulators, we have lots of things.
Before the fire, your target would be to detect before a certain fire happens.
We have all the data. We have all the data to detect the factors which cause a wildfire or a fire that will be out of control. We have the real-time data from weather API and from so many sources, but NASA did not offer us. Also, I requested, but they did not offer us real-time data. I only took the moisture of the soil from 1 month till now, and we studied.
Okay, so in your opinion, you do not need more than the satellites data?
No. They are very accurate, really.
Okay, that's amazing. I guess our time is up. Sorry, Ethan and other judges. We have to go to other teams. Now we have Cedar Rex, and for you to know, Lebanon is very famous for cedar, and that's why our flag contains the cedar. So go ahead and make us proud.
So hello, do you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm Manuel Risha. I will be presenting this along with Ahmad and Miriam. This is our team, Cedar X. We tackled mapping space trash in real time. Ahmad and Hassan were the developers, and Miriam was doing the writing and the reporting, and Emil was doing the data collection and research, and I helped in the research and the video editing. So before going into, we did a visualizer for the debris around the globe orbiting the Earth. So before going into the demo or the details of this, I want to say why is the cosmic space junk that we created. We saw that different incidents happened in real time, and since the 70s, the NASA and other space agencies were digging into this problem, the junk around the Earth that made accidents to satellites on Earth. So this will help in our solution will help to avoid the risk collision. We'll see in details. To protect the astronauts' lives also, and to protect especially the satellites that we rely every day on an everyday life routine. I will give the talk to Ahmad to dig into the how we did this solution.
Thank you, Manuel. Thank you for the hard work first. Since you are coordinating with all of us all the day, you did the hard work. So a big thank you for you.
Thank you.
Okay, actually in our solution, what we try to do is to map in real time the debris around the globe. And what is different with our solution is we try to make a web application. What is different here is, for example, other application needs to be installed on your computer, and you need certain tools to be installed locally to run the application. What we did with a web application, you just click on a link, and everything is running on your machine. So how do we start it? The first thing we fetch the data from SpaceTrack, where we get the information for the debris around the globe. We faced an issue here that the data is too large. For example, if you want to collect the information for 10,000 debris, the data file will be about, for example, 50 megabytes. And since here we are tracking in real time, so we need to always download this file continuously. So what we try to do is to predict the orbit or the motion for the debris in real time. So we save the fetching of the information. So we save the fetching of the information. So we fetch this data and found a formula that calculate or predict the motion or the path for ZT, so we can track it in real time. Later on, we fetch another file or another information, and we do a sync with the current data, so we keep track of this debris.
Okay, time is up. Time is up. So we have given you lots of time. I think the judges will be reviewing. Yes, this one is very important. You could have placed it from the start, but judges will see the real action of your application, and it's well needed by all the space agencies. Judges, yes. Go ahead, please.
You can go to the showing you
the. Yes, if you can, Manuel, show the application.
Yeah, while the judges are asking. Judges, any questions, please?
Manuel, can you make it full screen?
Okay, show you the demo while the judges get ready with the questions.
Very interesting what we are seeing. Unfortunately, we didn't see it in the beginning. You saved the best for last, but we wanted the last to be in the beginning. But let me ask you a quick question about parsing the data. And you mentioned that the data is from NASA itself. And what were your projection algorithms used was there any AI or was there anything used to map or try to put all of this together?
Actually, we used a library called Satellite.js that mapped the information provided by NASA, actually the TLE coordinates, to lat, long, and altitude coordinates, so we can map it in a 3D globe. This is what we used to map in this globe. And we used some formulas to predict the path based on the current time with the current information provided by NASA.
Yeah, but if you want to make this real time, you need something with more high processing and so on. What is your idea of that?
Yes, actually, currently it's a real time. If you can zoom in manually, for example, if you can filter and zoom in, so you can, for example, track certain debris. Currently, the debris are moving, but in a slow motion. What we do, for example, on each second, we recalculate the current motion for this debris. If you can see them right now, all debris are moving right now, and in the real time, that should be in the real globe. We take the initial, for example, position and the angle of the debris and the velocity, and we take the current time and we calculate for this time the debris should be in this path. And we do the calculation on each second. That's why it will be a bit slow if we show, for example, 10,000 objects. This is why we filter, for example, with the slow or small debris to speed up the rendering.
Okay, so we'll go to Mr. Joseph, please, if you can make it fast. Thank you.
Do you have any projection estimation or collision early detection algorithm included or no?
Currently, no, but what we are thinking in a future work, for example, to include AI, for example, to detect pattern or collision. We did a small work to select an area in the globe, and we see, for example, the probability of collision in this area. For example, if you can show us a quick demo manual here on the map.
Yes, I'm sure. So here, this is the checkbox. And if it is checked, the algorithm will work when you select an area and give you the probability. And of course, it is to be evolved and enhanced.
Okay, so we gave you too much time. I think that.
Thank you for this.
Like most of the space agencies, you have to develop it, and I can help you with it, and the people with us. We will go to the city of the sun, the Albak, and known in the history of humanity. Go ahead, please, and show us your presentation.
Good evening. Could we have a permission to share?
Yeah, we're granting the permission. Rida, go ahead. Okay, you've granted the permission. Go ahead, please. We're out of time.
Not yet.
Just give us, prepare your presentation with Mr. Rida, and we'll go to Trios Cam. Are you ready?
Yes, we're ready.
Who's ready? I know that. Go ahead, please. You have the access, please go ahead, please, as fast as you can.
Isra. Just a second.
You need any assisting so that our team assists you for assistance? Okay, here you go. Please go ahead. You have 3 minutes, not more, please.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Zainab Hakim, and my team members are Maryam Osman and Isra Abiad. Our challenge is, what on earth is synthetic aperture radar? So we've noticed that a lot of people might have seen the synthetic aperture radar, but have no idea what it is. So our job is to explain the concept behind this radar, also known as SAR, explain its technology and where we could actually see its impact in our daily lives. Okay. So first, we've asked a lot. We've asked different people of different age groups and tested their knowledge about this radar. And we figured out that the best way to explain it is by illustrating the situations where this radar casts a huge impact in our lives. We decided to list these situations in a series of breaking news. The first one will show how SAR could actually manage or monitor moisture of the land from up there, helping farmers take better care of their lands to enhance the quality of vegetation. It could also monitor volcanoes. Because it has such a huge accuracy, it can detect the slightest deformation in the surface due to the movement of magma beneath the ground, helping us predict future volcanic eruptions. Not to mention how it can also provide such pictures. This picture can map floods, which means that it shows where the flood began, where it's going, and the land that it's covering. It can also provide the colored image on the right. In a few minutes, we'll know what these colors mean. But this image shows the deformation of the surface right after an earthquake. So now that we know where SAR's data can help us, it's the time to know what it is. So SAR is a tool used to create high-resolution images by sending signals and receiving its reflection, then analyzing it. It also uses two techniques. The first one is interferometry, which means that it takes two snapshots of the same region, puts them together, and then a colored image is produced. Of course, the difference in the deformation in the surface is what produces such image. The second technique is polarimetry, and using this technique is based on the nature of the signal sent and received, the polarization to be accurate. So using this technique, SAR could recognize the Earth's surface, whether it's buildings, green areas, or even water surfaces. Okay. We look forward.
You have a couple of seconds, please, to finish your presentation. Please.
We look forward to keeping people up to date with the future missions, especially NISAR, which will be launching in 2023, and which will be a huge step into space.
Zainab, wow, I love it. So good work after the mission or even the semi-finals. You've done great work. So judges, please go in.
Thank you.
Judges, if you can just raise your hands, please, after your permission. Okay, Okay, Simon, go ahead, please, sir.
Hi, thanks for a beautiful presentation. Can you explain more about the technology, particularly the concept of synthetic aperture and how that works?
Yes, of course. So the synthetic aperture radar is actually an active sensor, which means it does not need sunlight to work. It generates its own energy by sending signals, particularly microwaves. So these microwaves have a great penetration depth, which means that it can work throughout hard weather conditions, cloudy days. And because of this, of its penetration depth, it could detect even the slightest deformations in the ground up to millimeters. So it's based of particularly the wavelength, more into L band and S band, but we did not want to use a lot of scientific terms for the public to understand.
So it's a very precise and not dependent on our normal visual cues. Is NASA the only source for that data, or are there other systems where you could seek?
No, it's only NASA.
Thank you.
Any other questions, please, from the judges? Go ahead now before we shift to another team. Ethan, go ahead, sir.
Thank you for the wonderful presentation, team. I know the SAR is a very kind of radar, yet very limited countries in the access to that or actually launched one. So I'd like to know, like, do you have, like, for your app, have you researched in the market and have seen any similar apps to your innovation?
I don't get your question. Excuse me.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was asking about do you have like or do we have any similar apps as yours in the market right now, or is your app the first one to educate people about the SAR, this kind of radar, and give people information about that? So is there anyone else doing this kind of app?
Well, of course, we're not the first. You could find a lot of videos on YouTube, but what's special about our demonstration is that we do not define what SAR is at the beginning, so you could see what it does and how it affects our lives, where exactly its direct impact on our lives, and then when people are triggered to know what it is, then we explain it, and we use simple language to do so.
I see. So it's more like an educational, informational tool.
Yes, exactly.
People who are not familiar with science understand that.
Yes, that's the main purpose.
Amazing idea.
Good. So way to go, Z, and a nice presentation. And Ethan made it right in a way that he pinpointed that you have to focus on the educational level of your tool. That's pretty good. So we'll go back to the City of the Sun. And I've said before, it's Baalbek is well known for the history value we had there, and we're still having it. You have to visit it. I feel myself as if I'm a tourist today, but why not? It's good for people from outside to know about our country. Go ahead, please, sir.
Good evening, everyone. It's the City of the Sun team. We present Two-Way Space Separator, a project by Mohammed and Ali Ismail. TWSS, for abbreviation, is a mechanical separation device. It works by releasing two components of spacecraft from each other. For instance, satellites, rocket stages, separation of rockets from its base at the time of launching. Our project began by designing and constructing 4 test prototypes for the sake of building a principal separator, which satisfies NASA criteria It all started contingent on the strings of database provided by NASA, ESA, and other space agencies, those that are mainly about our device counterparts in service. TWSS is powered electromechanically and pneumatically. The latest is an unrivaled new technique that provides safety and efficiency of use in the layer of atmosphere. However, the main way of separation is the electric. You can find a schema which represents the way or the mode of action of our device. It's of course based on an electric component and a numeric in case we're dealing with separation in our atmosphere. Characteristic of our device. It has additional layer of safety manifested by the pneumatic way of separation, which is designated as a mode of action for atmospheric region. It has an optimal volume and mass. Its total mass amounts 36 gram and dimensions more than a battery. It deploys ideal carbon chromium alloy steels that comply perfectly with NASA recommendation, which give it firm and durable, make it firm and durable. It withstands high pressure. We try it on our handmade compressor, and it withstands 80,000 Newton experimentally. It's efficient and reliable device demonstrated by different ways of ejection. It provides extra safety by providing different ways of space for component divergence and firm structure, as we said before, which reduces the amount of personal and financial loss concerning spacecraft's part separation. It ensures and permits carrying high loads. Additionally, it is designated to alleviate space junk crisis. As for the future, the electrical ejecting component could be enhanced by the use of some unique technologies and techniques, and currently we're working on one of them. This is the schema. Thank you.
Okay, that's pretty good. It seems an interactive idea. So, of course, judges, you can ask your questions again. Okay, Simon again. Go ahead, please, sir.
Good evening. Can you say something about comparing this to the existing methods of separation? What do you think are the advantages of this method versus existing methods?
Existing methods are pyrometric methods and SMA. Our method relies basically on electrically, and it can be worked pneumatically in our atmosphere, which considered a new step that were never used before.
Okay, any other questions?
Yes.
Rudy, go ahead, please, sir.
So you think this would be patented invention that is never passed before, so it could be patented?
Yes, we did our research on similar counterparts, and it was using new techniques and technologies that was never used before. So I think it would be patented.
Okay, so was this also put to the test with manufacturers involved, yes, or not yet?
We tried on many tests based on NASA recommendation, which include hydraulic press, and it's optimal regarding mass and dimensions.
Okay, thank you.
I just
By the
want
way,
to.
I'd like to mention, are there some questions, more questions before I mention anything?
Well, just a final comment that I mentioned at the beginning of our session how fun the names are, and this is a really fun name. Two ways space separator. It really sounds like some wonderful story, guaranteed to attract the kid in all of us. So fun name.
Yeah, that's nice. Exactly.
Thank you.
And he combined it. It's a strategy of using the name in both sides. So good job. If you have any other question, please let me know before we have the last team, which is Supra Astra. Can you go ahead, please?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, my name is Huda Saliba. I'll share my screen now. Okay. Let's start. Okay. So we chose artfully illuminated asteroids. We are Team Supra Astra, which stands for Beyond the Stars in Latin, in relation to our challenge, because humanity will reach into the depths of our solar system and beyond with the courage to evolve. Lucy is the name that revolves around the challenge the most, because Lucy stands for two things. Lucy, the first Homo sapien discovered, which dates back to over 3 million years ago, and Lucy, satellite being developed by NASA. If you haven't noticed already, Lucy, the satellite was named after Lucy, the Homo sapien. Lucy will be launched on October 16, 2021. Its goal is to discover the volatiles and organics of our solar system and uncover our origins in the solar system, the origins of the solar system. Its target is the Trojan asteroids, which are separated into two main groups, one trailing Jupiter and one leading it. Lucy has a plaque. Now, these plaques that are placed on spacecrafts are usually for spacecrafts leaving the solar system, so for extraterrestrial life. But Lucy isn't leaving our solar system. So this plaque will be dedicated to our descendants. So it will serve as a time capsule. Now we are in the objective, which is to illustrate the diversity that Lucy will explore by recreating a work of art, or in our case, a painting. Note this picture because it is the inspiration from the NASA resources that we use. Now into the philosophy. After millions of years of discovery, science and technology, mankind will take the next big step to unravel the origins of life. This is the first sketch we ever made of our design. As you can see, there's Lucy the Homo sapien and Lucy the satellite outstretching their arms, almost touching but not quite yet. Now you can see the concept was inspired by Michelangelo's creation of Adam, where Adam is the creation and God is the creator. This completes the cycle of exploration because Lucy launched decades of research into our evolution, which helped us understand where us as a humanity came from. And now humanity is sending Lucy the satellite to uncover the history of our origins in the solar system. So you can try to link the dots where how Lucy, the Homo sapien, which represents humanity, will launch Lucy the satellite, which will uncover what created Lucy in the first place. Here you can see our final product. This is our final product. You can take some time to admire it. Thank you for listening.
Okay, it's amazing. So, judges, you have some kind of time. It's our last team. Then we're gonna give you a very small brief about our control unit or room, and we'll end this gigantic challenge we lived. Go ahead, judges, please. Okay, Huda, can you please stop the screen sharing thing? Thank you.
Could I just ask Rami, what was the inspiration? What drew you to this particular challenge topic?
Hi, I'm Wael. I'm the artist on the team. The inspiration behind the whole painting was Lucy's mission, and the representations in the painting will show how the whole mission of Lucy and the whole idea behind it. And of course, Michelangelo, the Italian master artist, inspired somehow also in the behind the concept of the painting.
That's neat. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Sam.
Any other question, please, judges?
Yeah, I love the inspiration and how you relate all of this into art. And but what's the output of this? If you can help me understand, NASA is watching. What do they get out of this?
NASA asked in the objectives of this challenge to illustrate the diversity of what Lucy is all about. So we used a mixed media way to paint the painting and show the diversity of art somehow with this diversity of materials we used, about how diverse Lucy's mission will go. So it's the whole painting is kind of a story starting from the whole background with the nebula that we can't see right now, but there's a nebula that in the background, in the far background, that represents that represents life. I see it. Because this is where stars are born, and we are mainly made of stardust. So this relates to the viewer at the same time, from the farthest background of the painting to the viewer's eye, and the whole creation thing that we see in the middle that's happening between Lucy and Lucy, creator to creation.
Very interesting. Well, thank you for explaining more. I love it.
Okay, Mr. Joseph, can you go ahead, please, sir?
Yes, thank you very much. Just a follow-up on Rudy's question. Effectively, now that the painting is done, what's next?
It's all mainly about raising awareness about space, and that space and science and art could be related all the time, just like when we see geometrical shapes that could be related to artistic stuff, and we can base this mathematical stuff to do our art. So art and science are one, and this is just one way to inspire maybe future generations to pursue art that is science related also, and awaken the minds and tell all people that science is also could also be fun and not only hard to do and whatever we used to know when we were at school.
Okay, that's pretty good. So when I've seen your project, I felt like I'm watching like a kind of a documentary on Discovery Channel, and it's touching that it might be a mission, artistic mission on kind of a rocket, and we are connecting with other aliens, let's suppose. I like it, how artistic the team is. Good luck with that. So now I'm gonna give you just like a small tour, and with our COVID-19 strict measures, and as for our control unit, and I'm not alone here, so you take an idea of all the team if you can wait for the people watching us. And as you can see, we're working day and night with a full campus given by Isaac University. And let's see here, that's the team. So hi team, and that's a part time of our team that is working 24/24, and it's the way we succeeded with our participants in a way or another. So thank you so much for that great opportunity from our partners, our judges, mentors, and the team provided by USAC University from Mr. Rida. He was the silent soldier, and he is a silent genius, believe me, in order to join effort in closing, opening, and even organizing a full hackathon in a historic or limited period of time. So thank you so much for being here. And now we will be telling you something about Lebanon. We are the Phoenicians, and we will stay here to send more inventions, since we've invented the letter and we've sent it to Greece from Byblos. Some of the nations, they do not know that. So we've created the letter, and we've created the law from Sagesse University back to the world. Believe me, we're trying our best to come back from the mess we've been in for many and many years. It's time to be back. Thank you very much, everybody, for such an amazing journey. So now I say goodbye, and we'll meet again with many summits or challenges, and even NASA. NASA, you made our dream, come true. Without you, we didn't, or we couldn't do such an accomplishment on starting as an initiative or a simple competition or challenge to a national mission. I can't believe it. It's such a dream for us that came true. Wait for us, please, to end this presentation. So bear with us, patience, just a minute. Thank you very much, and bye-bye. Mr. Simon, do you want to add something? I saw that you raised your hand before we end.
Yeah, Antoine, I just want to thank you for such a magnificent job. It is really hard to manage so many people all over the world and the technology and so forth. So you managed to create a great sense of excitement and anticipation. And also thank you to all the teams for engaging with us. Good job.
Okay, so we're back. Thank you, Mr. Simon, for this opportunity of being with us. I think, Ethan, do you want to add something from China before we show you the video and say goodbye for this year?
Yeah, I just wanted the same message Simon just said. Thank you, Antoine, in your organizing this. As a judge, I have to say that all of the team's work, like the innovation products, all of the team's presentations, and your team's work. And I also wanted to say that I'm really happy to have this opportunity to learn more about Lebanon. That's the same for other international judges. So thank you for giving us this kind of information and taking us into country. And we wish the best of luck to Lebanon and to all of the participants. Hope have good rest after this, and hope everyone is safe. And the life in Lebanon is going better and better. We have believed in you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Kind words. We will end up for just checking out with Mr. Joseph. If you have anything to add to the beautiful words of Mr. Ethan and Mr. Simon.
It's very difficult to say anything about these touching words from all three of you, including you, Antoine. But I just want to thank you and to tell you that USAC will always be by your side, and we are really honored to host such an event, and to thank Rida again and again for a very successful collaboration from our side. Thank you very much, everyone, and thank you for the international judges for your time, and hope that we will be able to host you in the campus you see behind me soon.
in order for you to meet our university and our beautiful country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Joseph. Thank you, Dr. Nai. Thank you, Grace, everybody, for this lovely, 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 brainy night. I promise you, Mr. Joe, that we will somehow reach stars together because you are believing in me and I believe in you, Zach. Together, one power. So please, I'm going to say bye-bye with a special video and I'll see you next year. Bye.